Every coffee needs a lotus.
All right, so welcome back to the afternoon session, or the second part of the session this afternoon on VUCA. Right now, we have one question at the Q&A box. We'd like to encourage you to type in more of your questions. But in the meantime, again, like what I mentioned, that's been an hour and a half of free learning given to you generously by people who care and think of you, so that during this time of pandemic, which happening globally, we continue to evolve, we continue to learn, we continue to advance. What we're seeing now is the HR Virtual Summit PH 2020. This is our project. Sir J. Ematienzo, our CEO, and Ms. Irish Molonda, our president, talked about it on how can we give to the community, how can we give back. And this is how we thought of it. We thank the participants, we thank the speakers for saying yes to this project, because this is meant not only to give to you, it's also meant to give to the people who are the poorest of the poor, our Filipino brethren. They happen to be in Bayan ng Mahayhay in Laguna, very small town, sleepy town. And what we're asking you is not to give back to Ariva, but to pay it forward. So that whatever you will be donating, whether it's 100 pesos or 200 pesos, any amount that you'll be donating, 100% of the proceeds will go to the Bayanihan Act 2020. And because of that, we look forward to not only upbuilding the Filipino professionals, you, our participants, via LinkedIn, YouTube, of course, Zoom and Facebook Live. We also look forward to you touching the lives of the people who never thought that people like you actually care for the poorest of the poor. So we're looking forward to you being a hero and acting on a particular pandemic that has been set before us. So for the Q&A, Zoom participants, type in your question at the Q&A box. If you, and then I would like to encourage you to do a Zoom live question, click the raise button so that you will notify our admin, see Sir Jeff, our technical person and our engineer. And if you're a Facebook Live viewers, our president, Miss Irish, is monitoring your questions. And they'll throw it to me so I can read them all. And as you type in your question, we would like to greet our out-of-town participants. So Maraming salamat po. Alaminos, Pangasinan. Apalit, Pampanga. Bacolor, Pampanga. Bacoor City, Cavite. Bagak, Bataan. Baguio City. Batangas City. Binalbagan, Negros Occidental. Cagayan de Oro City. Capas Tarlac. Cebu City. Davao City. Digos City, Davao del Sur. Dumaguete City. Iloilo City. La Trinidad, Benguet. La Union. Laguna. Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. Legazpi City. Lubao, Pampanga. Quezon Province. Rizal Province. San Fernando, La Union. San Juan, La Union. Siquijor. Tabaco City. Tuguegarao City. And Urdaneta City, Pangasinan. Thank you so much for supporting this Zoom broadcast of our free webinar. And thank you for attending from and letting us into your living rooms and participating in our workshop, online workshop. So for the first question I'll be asking, this has been pre-sent yesterday from Alfred Balaga. How can data help us in this VUCA environment, Sir Ricky?
Okay. Am I being heard? I just wanted to make sure first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yes. Okay. I'm not sure if the one who was asking the clarification joined the webinar that we also had last April 29.
That is, Beyond SWOT.
Beyond SWOT, wherein I shared there also a model I have designed, the 6-step model for a recovery of departments and companies moving forward. Now, that 6-step model or phases, one of the phases there was what we call the analytics. And I'm answering this because analytics is about the data. Now, what I was mentioning, I'm going to now put it together. And I feel this is also important because for you to appreciate it. The data is a standalone. Like I have one person attending, that's a data. The important thing to remember now is this, okay? You're going to have different kinds of data available. You've got data that are, I would call it financial data, and you have data that I would call it would be more of activation data. Between the two, I'd rather, moving forward, I'd like to spend more time to understand the activation data. Activation data has got to do with the kind of touch points that your market has with you moving forward. Okay? And as I mentioned, if we just take a look at data per se, there's just so many data out there, and it can confuse you. What is important is to remember there was the pre-pandemic, during the pandemic, and post-pandemic. This is my own personal opinion. Moving forward, I'd like to spend more time on not the pre-pandemic, because that's history. I'd rather spend more on data of during the pandemic, okay? Because that's going to help me in preparing moving forward. Okay, so there's got to be that focus now on who is gathering data. Oh, by the way, data and information is different. I can give you data, but unless I put it together, it becomes statistics. And unless I put meaning into statistics, there is no information. So that's the thought process there. Let us spend more time now to gather data during the pandemic in relation to, I call it activation. Okay. Then we need to put it together so that there is statistics, and that is missing in a lot. They don't put it together, so no statistics, no meaning. And then we need to put meaning into it interpret it, then it becomes information. So let us be selective
Okay.
with the data. Financial data for me is there, but it's historical. I'd rather concentrate on activation data.
Okay.
That's my response with the question of how can we use data in a V.U.C.A environment. Be selective, concentrate on the activation data that you have right now, but you have to put it together so it becomes statistics, and then put meaning into it so it becomes information. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ricky. Annabelle Pagala, what is the leadership style that is most effective this time of the new normal?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that, my good friends, very candidly, uh, and in my own opinion.
Okay.
There are a lot of leadership styles, and there are a lot of my friends also who are consultants and coaches who have been talking about the different leadership styles, and I really appreciate that. I mean, this situation that we have right now has really gotten a lot of us in the consulting and coaching to really come in and share, and I really love it. We are enriching the psychic of Filipinos and everybody out there. The most in this kind of a situation, I have to be pragmatic. Why?
Okay.
Uh, Pragmatic means to say I can take a look at the different leadership styles available out there. But then I also have to ask myself the question, when I turn around and I take a look at my team, what kind of team do I have? Okay. Another one, I need to also find out when I take a look at the rest of my management team, what kind of management team do I have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because the way I see it, styles, there's so many out there. But choosing the appropriate, that's why when people ask me, what is the right, what is the best, I cannot answer because it's dependent. Styles are like models. This is the model that you can use. This is the model that you can use. It is dependent on to whom are you going to apply it, what kind of business are you into, and this is even more critical. Where does the owner of your business want to bring the organization? Okay, and if you therefore relate to where I'm coming from, hindi madaling sagutin yung tanong na ano yung pinakamaganda. Kasi I have to be pragmatic. Depende yan sa maraming variables. Pero para sa akin, ang pinakamaganda is you continue to add knowledge to yourself to know the different styles of leadership. Okay, there at least you owe it to know the different kinds of leadership, and then based on that one, you got to, and that's another risk because I know some people would come back and say, well, the speaker was telling me this is a leadership style, ginamit ko, hindi nag-work. My good friends, you just don't get a leadership style and apply it. You're going to take risk decisions on that one. But again, I'd like to make it clear, I would not like to answer what is the best because I don't know the situations of each company. That's why when I'm asked, sir, what is the approach? Teka muna, mag-usap muna tayo. What is the business? Where does it want to go? What is the culture of the organization? What is the climate? Okay, sino yung gusto mo kausapin? Okay. Sir, what did you do? Diagnostics.
Okay.
Based on the diagnostics, I then take a look at the different leadership styles, and then I choose the one that is appropriate. I cannot say what is right, because until I implement it, how can I say it's right? Appropriate. But one of the leadership styles that I appreciate is the one that was also shared, not because he is my moderator now, yung selfless leadership. Because at the end of the day, I feel that is one of the more interesting. Maraming leadership styles, please. Okay, I don't want to be boxed in, but you got to understand there are different styles for different situations.
Thank you, Sir. Thank you, Sir Ricky, for being non-biased in answering that question. And thank you for being truthful. It's really complex situation to advise just one leadership style. Now,
Right.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I just like to mention also, because the question is advice. If the question is of the many, what do you think? I would
Yes.
answer it as a consultant.
Sure.
There's a difference. When I'm being asked, before I answer, I say, do you want me to think like a consultant? Pag sinabing yes, I'll give you all the different options. Pero pag sinabi lang, no sir, advice ito and then you want me to think like an advisor, hindi madaling sagutin yung tanong. Magda-diagnostics tayo. So there's a difference between the two. And the question kasi, what is my advice? So I put in my advisory cap. I could not answer it right away, but I have enlightened, I hope, the person on what to look at.
Thank you so much, Sir Ricky. And thank you for wearing many hats.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Professor, consultant, advisor, coach, mentor, academician, pragmatic leader, and all.
Yeah. Orthodox.
So, sir,
I guess, yeah.
Hana Poras asks a question, and anonymous attendee, pag-isahin ko na lang to ha. Sabi ni Hana Poras, how can I introduce V.U.C.A to my team and boss? Relevant to sa anonymous attendee question, and how do you encourage leaders or bosses to shift their mindsets to fit V.U.C.A situations? Firstly, introducing V.U.C.A.
Okay.
And secondly, encouraging leaders to shift their mindsets.
Oh, okay. I'll be very candid. Show how do you introduce V.U.C.A to your organization?
Sure.
Show them this, what's happening right now. Because as I understand it, this is going to be recorded. And, my mind, again, just to be clear to everyone, when we work in an organization and we tell people in other departments or the top management, sir, we should look at it this way, or you should look at it this way. Sometimes, because I've also been working with some companies before, sometimes we're seen as my vested interest. Ikaw nagsabi yan.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why for me, I always would use, sir, I'd like, if you don't mind, since we have a breakfast meeting, I'd like to share a video of what I have heard. And I sense that people in an organization or in any team will be more open to ideas from others, as long as, of course, the ideas is worth considering, And if you notice, in the way I presented the V.U.C.A this afternoon, I was very clear. Yeah. I just did not read about V.U.C.A. I am espousing it. I read about it. I discuss it with other V.U.C.A leaders in many countries. I apply it. I have been using it with a number of our clients already. So, it's not just nabasa ko eh. And because of that, I felt that showing this is like, introducing a new concept. And you cannot march in and simply say, you know what, we've been doing it all wrongly, we should do it this way. No, I brought it into a realization. And for me, that's a good way. And I hope that everybody would like to introduce V.U.C.A to use the recording that we have as your jumping board, okay, on that side. Okay. Now, of course, it goes now to the next question. And Howell, just to the next question, tied up to that was
encourage leaders to shift their mindsets.
Okay. Now, if you can recall as well, and thank you, I've noticed a number else mentioning, when I explained the V.U.C.A, I mentioned you can either take it as a whole, V.U.C.A, or you can take it independent of each other. Now, I've also attended a number of sessions, both here in the country and abroad, about V.U.C.A. It's very seldom that they explain that it can be taken separately. It's more often than not, take it as a whole. And I guess that's where I'm also coming from. V.U.C.A is 4 of the most challenging variables put together. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, try to tell somebody, you know, we got to put four things together. I sense, as a behavioral psychologist kasi I use the word sense, I sense
Mhm.
you will have more apprehensions. Parang, ang dami naman yan without this. And it's easier, my good friends, to present it that way. Ito na, this is already, by the way, this is already consulting Joel, but we'll answer it. Because the way I sense it, if you say V.U.C.A right away, COVID-19, okay, you can show our tape. So people will, okay, so that's what it means. But then if you say, sir, mangyayari ulit ito, they probably say, teka, ganyan ba ka-complex? Ganyan ba ang V.U.C.A? I feel if you say, no, sir, according to Professor De Vera then, look at it, volatility can happen at any time. Oh, di ba may nangyaring ganyan sa ating office? Oh, sir, complexity, di ba? It can happen at any time also. Di ba, meron tayong ginawang decision na yung decision na yan, ang daming tinamaan na hindi natin naisip. So if you take a look at it, if you can follow where I'm coming from, I will bring it down now towards the individuality of the V.U.C.A. Kasi pagka sinabi kong volatility, it's easier to connect it to what's happening to the office. Kaya pag sinabi kong uncertainty, it's easier to connect it to an incident in the office. Then people will say, ganun pala yon. So my approach is going to be twofold. One, use this video, okay, to get people to be open to what is a V.U.C.A. And then express to them, based on also what we have shared, that it doesn't have to be V.U.C.A all the time. It could be volatility. And it happened when, madali kayo, sir, di ba? Or, ma'am, di ba? Okay, break it down. So that's the phasing I would be using so that there is less resistance in organizations in, embracing the V.U.C.A eventually.
Thank you, Sir Ricky. And on that note, we have two wonderful feedbacks from our participants via Facebook Live. Starting off with Dioscoro Jr. Garing. Dioscoro Jr. Garing. Professor Ricky, thank you for sharing your wisdom and understanding. From a common tao, could we say it's attitude first, then skills to follow? In anticipation of V.U.C.A, expect a lot of failure and rejection. It's your positive perspective that will predict results. Quoting the late Dr. Felipe Landa, joke, no? Kung anong pananaw ay siyang nakikita, kung anong nakikita ay siyang naramdaman, at kung anong naramdaman ay siyang isinasagawa. Simply said, how you think is how you believe, how you feel, and how you feel is how you act, hoping and praying for you and for your guidance and direction. From Felipe Landa Ocano pala yun. Felipe Landa Ocano. Ayan, yung Tagalog na quote. Thank you po. And Anne-Marie, itong limit natin, ito, suki natin, ito, si Anne-Marie Posky. Today our world is fragile, but let's work together to preserve, enrich, and enlighten it. #positivity. Those are two beautiful, encouraging messages for you, Sir Ricky.
Yeah, can I just respond to both of them
Sure,
moving forward as well? Okay. One is, yes, the realization. There will be a tendency for a number of organizations who would be talking really of skills, hard skills. And I do not blame that because you'd like to have action right away. But then when you reflect back onto it, okay, and this one, I'd like to also, if you'll notice, even in my presentation today, I was mentioning, if you read the V.U.C.A from the Western world, this is what they're looking at. And then I would say, but I was thinking of the Philippines, and that's why I think is very important. We do not just, and even them, they do not just take anything and then apply. Okay, I listen to my Western counterparts, but I just don't apply it right away. I test it out. Okay, and this is where I'm coming from. The interesting thing about the Western environment is they think before the feeling. Okay, the Filipino And that's why I wanted to find out, because
Mm.
I also was following before Dr. Hokano. That's why I'm not sure if this person asking is related, from UP, who was a sociologist. And he was sharing, he has passed already. But you know, and Dr. Hokano also has enriched me, because when in some of the sessions I was having before, and he's like 20, 30 years my senior, I don't know, I mean, he was saying the interesting thing about the Filipino, and what I noticed is true. Filipinos would tend to feel before they think. And that's why you could also, and for me, this is very important. That's why it is critical that as we move forward, my good friends and everybody out there, okay, let us not be blinded by the urgency to do something. Let us not be blinded, okay, because you might actually create much more things that you should have not done. Let us let us instead, as Filipinos, this is I'm probably talking to the 70 to 80% of Filipinos who are feelers. Let us first be able to relate to our emotions. Let us be able to relate to our feelings.
Okay.
And then based on that, then let's bring it up to that level of cognitive. I do a lot of the sharing. It's in my FBs as well. I have motivational posters. And motivational posters, most of my posters are not for the thinking, it's for the feeling. So I appreciate those two individuals who also said that as we move forward, we gotta be clear. There has to be a roadmap. And I'd also make it that I'd like to say this. It is not yet over, my good friends. It is still unfolding. Okay? So if you're saying, ito na gagawin natin, I'd like to probably word of caution. It is still an unfolding story. Please do not make conclusions right away. But definitely, you will have to have what I would call initiatives. You know, it would be interesting if later on, when we're into the GCQ, and then moving forward, we can be featured again, and then maybe that's where we tell people, now this is what we can do moving forward. Okay, so
By the way, sir,
Ariva.
thank you for that answer, Sir Ricky De Vera. By the way, the long appreciation post that I mentioned, Dioscoro Junior Garing, that was Sir June Garing.
June.
He's watching you via Facebook Live.
Oh,
you might want to
I am honored, Mr. June Garing. I am honored.
Sir June
because
Garing.
I have also been a follower, and definitely my respect to such a person, a humble person. June, thank you.
June Garing.
Were there during the times also.
Thank you, Sir June Garing, for supporting this. Hindi pa ako pinapanganak. Influential na sa sales and marketing si Sir June Garing. Ganyan katindi. Foundation yan. Haligi pa.
That's true.
So, Sir Ricky.
And also, I'd like to just mention, right, I think there will be those who will be, you might be posting it, but it's still unfolding. It's not yet over, but definitely you have to take initiatives. But it's interesting that we now become, I use the word pragmatic.
Yes.
Hindi mo pwedeng lahatin na gagawin ito dahil ito para sa lahat. No, you're going back to the conventional. The conventional has always been, ito na gagawin natin, lahat tayo ganito na. Again, you're going back to conventional. You got to break down. For executives, this is what they will do. For managers, this is what they'll do. For the rest, this is what they'll do. We still have to have that. We now have to create that kind of, for me, a mindset. Because the V.U.C.A affects everybody in different ways. And of course, I talk more about that. I think I have two more under our series for Ariva. Howell, I think you guys
Yes,
will
I'll be
mention it
moderating.
later.
I'll be
One, I'll talk
moderating.
about inciting. That's very interesting. Malalim
Yes.
yan, ha?
Dami kong natututunan
Right.
sa'yo,
And
Sir
then
Ricky.
another one
Always
I'll
a
be
pleasure.
discussing is counts. May gali. Ako rin. You know, what's interesting about people who are professionals, they are humble enough to say, I also learned from you. And I also pick up ideas from you, Howell. And June,
thank you, sir.
my gali. I picked up also wisdom from June as well, and everybody as well. Everybody as well. So my second session after internalizing is going to be, if I as a counselor, how you can do counseling to your people. So I'm a behavioral psychologist. I'm very excited to share that this coming May. If I'm not mistaken, well, they will be announcing it. So I have still 2 more. Okay, how to counsel without being necessarily a counselor. And
yes, we want that.
How to be able to do that one. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again.
You know what, Sir Ricky? 2 hours flew so fast.
Well, a lot of my friends. Oh.
Diba? 2 hours flew so fast. Why? Because of your engagement level.
A lot of new friends now in Facebook. We're having an enriching exchange of ideas, and I feel that is our contribution to what is happening today.
So, sir,
people remember and put meaning into their being. Yes, please.
So, Sir Ricky, the last minute of our webinar is the takeaway.
Well,
so, what's your nugget of wisdom?
Away. I'm happy and.
Any words of wisdom you'd like to leave our participants now?
My takeaway to
the viewers.
Right. And this is where I'd like to mention, my good friends, as we move forward, and definitely there is a moving forward, we will need to reevaluate the way we do things. But to do that, we will need to reevaluate the way we think about things. But to do that, we will also need to reevaluate the way we feel about things. And to be able to do that as well, we will have to reevaluate, for me, what is your philosophy in life? That's a different topic altogether. I've heard about purpose. But there's one thing that I feel should not be forgotten. I know I'm introducing something, but this is a takeaway. What is your philosophy? And that is what has carried me through all these years. Not beyond, or if I appreciate the others. What is your purpose? What is your projection? But then I want to ask, what's your philosophy? And that's critical because the philosophy is the one that will carry you through. That's my take again.
Thank you, Sir Ricky.
Different perspective.
What's your philosophy?
There is no right or wrong. Thank you.
Big hand for Sir Ricky de Vera, everyone.
Yeah. Catch it. I also posted in my FB, so but it's philosophy for me.
Hello, sir, you're breaking up. Hello. Anyway, so thank you, Sir Ricky. And as Sir Ricky fades away from the screen, fades in Miss Irish Malonda.
Yeah, I'm not speaking anymore. I'm not speaking.
Miss Irish Malonda Samson. Again, everyone, put your hands together for Sir Ricky de Vera.
Clap, clap, Sir Howell.
I love
I'm
what
back.
Oh, you're back. Grabe, no, 1.5 hours of generous sharing of ideas and thoughts, and my mind has been stretched, and I have been reframed all over again. So I know you're going to ask me about my takeaway.
Sure, sir. Go ahead.
So I love his version of V.U.C.A. Gusto ko yung sinabi niya, yung V.U.C.A niya ni Sir Ricky ay versatility. You need to be unwavering. You need to contextualize. And you need to be agile.
Agility.
Galing, no? Grabe. At gusto ko yung sinabi niya nung huli. What's your philosophy? when everybody else is focused on purpose? What's your philosophy? And it's so amazing that we have the same takeaways. Madam Irish Malonda Samson.
Well, indeed, I agree with you, Sir Howell. So that was indeed an enriching and a jam-packed, shall we say, two-hour session with Sir Ricky. Thank you so much for giving this session to us, Sir Ricky. And for my takeaway, well, just want to thank Sir Ricky for elucidating and deciphering a V.U.C.A environment, a V.U.C.A landscape to our participants, and at the same time giving the leadership competencies in facing the V.U.C.A environment. So with that, thank you so much, Sir Ricky, and looking forward to more e-learning sessions with you.
Yes, may dalawa pa si Sir Ricky. Thank you so much, Sir Ricky. Ako rin yung magmamoderate.
Watch out. Okay, and also, Sir Howell, thank you so much for moderating our session today.
Isang magandang karangalan para sa ating maging bahagi nito.
On Wednesday, you will be the one to
do the tatlo kami.
Yes, forum. It will be a forum. So with that, sir, I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much, Sir Howell.
Thank you, Ms. Irish. And thanks everyone who participated. Don't go away.
Okay, for this not yet the end of our e-learning session. Before I thank our win-win partners, I would like to greet our participants from Federal Land, Flordelisa Agdigos, Gemily, Danica Gabon from Cavite, Elmer Santos, Alex Arellon from Jeddah, Dory Santos from Federal Land Inc., Ms. Amy Cordero, and of course, Mr. June Garing. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we would like to thank our win-win partners. We would like to thank our official media partner, Art Plus Magazine, digital media partners, Focus Media, Globaltronics, City Advertising Ventures. Thank you also to Outcom, Elevate Media, win-win partners. Thank you to Brother, Faber-Castell, Gluta C, Moringa O2, KFC, Mr. Donut, Tokyo, Lotus Biscoff, Boss Job. Thank you also to Sir Technology Inc., Finma Properties, Salary Jet, Ilawi Korea, Kitoson and Carpo Consulting, Enchanted Kingdom, Disperse, Cosmotech Philippines Inc. And if you want to place your ads here, advertise your logo, your services, your company, please email us at marketing@ariva.com.ph. Again, it's marketing@ariva.com.ph. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. It's Ariva Academy Philippines Inc. Please scan this QR code and this will be directed to our Facebook page. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Ariva Academy. And if you want to watch the replay of our e-learning sessions today and the previous e-learning sessions, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. Again, it's Ariva Academy and Ariva Talks. For our upcoming online learning sessions, please register at, of course, we would like to invite you for our HR Virtual Summit PH 2020 Bounce Back HR. This is for our HR professionals, people managers, business owners. Please do register and join us. We have invited international and local subject matter experts to share with us their wisdom in HR field. This will be on Wednesday. We would like to invite you and register. Leading productively in turbulent times, we have invited Ms. Sally Foley Lewis. She is a Breakthrough Speaker of the Year 2020. This will be on Wednesday, May 6, 10:30 to 11:30. And of course, we will be having a forum. We would like to invite you, be more with less, how to stay positive, healthy, and productive during tough times. We have invited, of course, Mr. Howell Mabalot, Coach Randy Esguerra, and Ms. Susette Shapno to give us a session, a forum this coming Wednesday, May 6, 3 to 4:30 p.m. So don't forget. On May 7, Thursday, we have invited Mr. Ronaldo Turla, Best Practices on Human Resource Planning During Uncertain Times. And we would like to invite you on another e-learning masterclass, Online Selling from Home, how to use FB, IG, and LinkedIn for your business. We have invited Mr. Jonathan Yabut, the Asia's Millennial Guru, to discuss this. May 7, don't forget 4 to 6 p.m. On Friday, May 8, we have invited, of course, none other than Mr. Roger Condantes to give us a talk on Don't Waste a Good Crisis, How to Thrive, Not Just Survive During Global Pandemic, 3 to 4:30 p.m. On Monday, May 11, we would like to invite you. We have invited attorney James Earl Chu. He will be discussing data privacy concerns during a pandemic, protecting your personal data in the time of COVID-19. Don't forget, May 11, 3 to 4:30 p.m. Another e-learning masterclass by Mr. Jonathan Yabut, leading a work-from-home workforce, how to manage and develop remote teams. This will be on Thursday, May 14, 4 to 6 p.m. Please do join us. And if you want to customize an e-learning session exclusive for your company, for your team, please reach me at 0916-695-4418, or you can email me at irish.arivaacademy@gmail.com. Okay, and that's it. Thank you for joining us today. Hope you learned a lot. Please register. This will be on Wednesday, Leading Productively in Turbulent Times. May 6th, we have invited Ms. Sally Foley-Lewis. Again, this is Irish Malondo of Ariva Academy. It's all about being better, be safe, and stay home. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bye-bye.